A major new report has revealed that the drug makers behind Ozempic and Wegovy are doling out huge sums of cash to doctors to get them to increase their prescriptions. This comes as more and more side effects of the weight loss drugs become evident, and it's getting worse. It's not getting better. You know, this is like deja vu of the opioid case that our firm handled. I mean, we were the lead people in that lawsuit. But we saw the same thing. We saw these doctors who could be bought. I mean, you know, basically prostitute themselves. That's what they were. I mean, you know, pay me enough money and I'll go out and say whatever you want me to say. These doctors that look like they're from Harvard and Yale and Wake Forest, all over the country, that they pay them enough money and they'll go out and say whatever the hell the company once said. We saw that with opioids. We see it all the time, right?
Yeah, and it's even more like the opioid case than people realize, because with opioids, what the companies were doing is they were targeting these pain management clinics, you know, where every day the doctors dealt with nothing but people who came in with pain. And what better way? Like, hey, you got pain, here's an opiate. And with the Wegovy and Ozempic, these drug makers are targeting these, you know, weight loss clinics where the doctors specialize in those kinds of prescriptions. So it's, you know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel for these people. So it's not just, you know, your little down the street doctor that you go to when you have a cold. It's these almost factory farm doctors that just get people on one specific issue.
Yeah, Nova is spending above $25 million, $30 million to go buy these people. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just, it's the equivalent of going out and purchasing a little poodle. I really like this poodle. And that's what they are. I mean, they're prostitute poodles, I guess is what you call them. And they'll say whatever has to be said. They'll make up whatever kind of literature. The company will say, hey, we have this that we wrote. Would you sign it? Yeah, I'll sign it. They're called key opinion leaders. And then they show up and they have this thing that's created by the industry. They put their name on it. And for $1 million, these guys are going, well, hell yeah, we'll do that. But when you're spending that kind of money, there is no shame, is there?
No, and what happens in many of these cases, like for example, Reuters pointed out there's one doctor that's taken personally over $1 million from these group, and he runs a massive weight loss clinic. And what they've done is they say, hey, listen, there's a big symposium coming up. A lot of other weight loss doctors are going to be there. We want you to be the keynote speaker. We're going to pay you tens of thousands of dollars just to speak.
And they sponsor that event.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, all your meals are covered. We've got you in this beautiful luxury resort. This one's in Chicago. The next one will be in Hawaii. You know, just promising all these great things, tons of money. Oh, and by the way, your speech is already written, because we've taken the liberty using your own data and, of course, some of our own to tout our product. And these doctors, because they have no conscience, no scruples, they jump at it and say, absolutely, honey, pack the bags. We're going out of town for a week.
Well, actually, one of the doctors, Ryan, R-Y-A-N, said there's nothing wrong with money. Look, we give a Nobel Prize in economics, right? So money can really help. It can help promote the good of the world. People are getting sick, and this freak who gets paid enough money to say this is willing to say it. But you know, the truth is, what they're tapping into a market. Here's the numbers, if you believe what's out there. 764 million people in America obese?
Well, across the globe.
Across the globe obese. So they're looking, you know, this is a big market they can tap.
That's probably the biggest market for any drug, really.
Yeah. Then the second thing I thought was really important is they asked Nova, why are you charging 3 times as much for the same drug in America that you're charging overseas? 3 times. And basically it's, well, we can get away with it. You know, there's nobody asking questions, so we can make it 3 times as higher. I mean, look, I'm going to be taking depositions in this case. I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be the same thing we see all the time. They can do anything they want to do to hide the clinicals or hide the doc. It doesn't make any difference. We're going to get to it. But we're going to then find out that they knew real bad stuff would happen. You're going to find the clinicals showed them that. And then even if we find really bad conduct and give it to the Department of Justice, they're not going to do anything. give it to the FDA. The FDA is signing off on this.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about that.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most, concerning parts of all of these stories we do like this is the
Yeah.
FDA says, okay, yeah, you can probably use it for weight loss, even though it is a diabetes drug. We're going to be okay with that. And yeah, we're going to say that it does promote weight loss. We're going to drag our feet a little bit on putting any kind of black box warning on this about, potential stomach paralysis or, pancreatic issues that are starting to be reported. There's no silver bullet for taking a pill to lose weight and not have side effects. It simply does not exist. I don't know that science will ever get there.
Let me tell you what these freaks are doing now. You remember this from opioids. This is where it really gets creepy. In opioids, they had to invent a need, okay? So they came up with this chart, happy face down to real sad face. Are you number 1? Are you number 2? All the way to 10. The industry came up with this goofy chart. And they would give it to the doctor and say, Doc, ask them what kind of pain they're in. And if they're up here at 4, then yeah, start giving them opioids. They're trying to do the same thing here. Doc, what does real obesity look like? Let's talk about their lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. And here are the standards. Well, it just so happens that the people writing that up are from the industry. And then, so in comes these doctors. I swear to God, they'll work for anything. Dr. Ryan, who I talked to, Kaplan. These folks, it's almost like there's no shame because they're going to sell this, and then what's going to happen is the same thing that happened with Fen-Phen, same thing that happened with opioids. It's not as serious as opioids, but people are going to die, but they're not going to be 150 people dying a day. But there's going to be a lot of life lost here by the time this is over.
And another thing, actually mentioned in the story too, some patients are reporting is muscle
Yeah.
loss. Actually losing muscle, which can be devastating for any older people taking these medications trying to lose some weight.
Here's the risk: serious nausea to where they can't hold anything down. I mean, that's not like I'm just going to puke now. They can't hold anything down.
Right.
A muscle loss that's debilitating, that actually immobilizes that person. Intestinal blockage, left and right. Suicidal thoughts. That's coming up in the European studies. It takes years to uncover. The other thing, though, is what they call the Ozempic face. Have you heard this?
I haven't heard
To
of that.
women that are taking it, you can look at them and you can tell their face is gaunt. They look older. They look by years. They look older, and they don't. It's almost as if they don't realize what's happening to them. But people that haven't seen them for a while look at them and they say, "My God," and they're calling it Ozempic face.
It's terrifying, and it is because, look, the holy grail of Big Pharma is a weight loss drug that doesn't kill people.
Right.
And right now, this is the closest they've come. I think they're even closer than with Fen-Phen. But with all of these reports that are coming out, no, this is dangerous. And I think what people need to do is, if you get on one of these drugs, because listen, they work. You're gonna lose weight,
yeah.
but you could lose,
Your
the
muscles,
ability to
your
lose your legs.
intestines, where you look like some
stomach.
oddball because somebody can look at your face and say, "Oh, well, you're on Ozempic." That's how bad this is.
Yeah.
And you want to say this to the woman: take a look at an old picture, take a look at your face now, and you are, believe it or not, a member of the Ozempic face family.
Well, ask if your doctor tries to put you on this. Ask them if they have taken any money from Novo or.
Well,
any of
let
these
them know
other
that I'll be
companies.
suing them at some point. It's just a matter of when. I mean, the people we're really going to be suing are these clinics.
Yeah.
The reason we can do that is because if I have a clinic that's doing this, say in Florida, okay, and there's an MDL, federal MDL put together, and I don't want to go to the federal MDL. Well, I can sue them in Florida because they have an organization here that I can sue that's using their product. It's just the way you've kind of forum shop. Where do I want to be with this case? And these places, just like we see all the time, are just opening up themselves up to lawsuits. These doctors are too.
Yeah.
Facebook's parent company Meta wants to sell your child's data to the highest bidder, and they're prepared to go to court to fight the order that says they aren't allowed to do that. Wow. Okay, pick it up.
Yeah, this is a particularly disturbing story because several years ago, you had the Federal Trade Commission actually do something good And
Rare.
they came out and said, okay, social media companies, specifically you, Facebook, because you're the worst, you can't sell data of users under the age of 18. Simple enough.
What are the reasons for that? I mean, give the common sense reasons for
The
that.
common sense reason is these are people that cannot legally enter into a contract to say you're allowed to sell their data. I mean, it's basic, pre-law stuff there. So the FTC says you can't do it. It's dangerous. They're minors.
They become victims.
Yeah.
I mean, they become trafficking victims. There's a whole host of problems that freak understands, and he's still sicking the lawyers on the Federal Trade Commission. As you used to point out, I've never seen in the last 10 years the Federal Trade Commission do anything really meaningful. This is meaningful.
Right.
I mean, he's trying to say there's a problem here. We got to solve it.
And Facebook says, how dare you? We have 13-year-olds on our app, and by God, we want to sell their data. We want to sell it to Amazon. We want to sell it to JCPenney or whoever it is out there. They'll buy this data, and then of course, once the data gets out there, it's going to get into the hands of people that should not have it, like you point out.
Well, it's the equivalent. This is good description. What's happening here is the equivalent. We handled the tobacco case. We got that whole thing rolling right here in Florida. And one thing that we saw, it would be the equivalent of the FTC. It's like big tobacco trying to gut the FDA. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, they did everything they could to gut the FDA and say all this stuff about cancer is meaningless. It's a bunch of lawyers, it's ambulance chasers. Well, this is the equivalent here. This is the industry that wants to gut the FTC, which is the only people at the reins. Nobody else is in charge, right?
Yeah, and again, this is a good decision by the FTC, but listen, Facebook's probably going to get some great lawyers, scumbag type, but good at what they do at protecting corporations. This is one that they could win.
Oh,
and this is people, y'all got to watch what your kids are doing because...
Well, I love that at least Edward Markey comes out and says, really? This is this is deplorable that you know that you're victimizing children by doing this. But Elizabeth Warren, I can't believe you're doing this. Who are the voices that are speaking up? Those are the only two big voices I'm seeing right now. How about you?
No. I mean, this is
Markey
kind
and
of
Elizabeth Warren.
And they're great people. Could be running for president.
Two great Democrats that should be running for president. I totally agree.